You wake up. The alarm rings. Your body feels heavy, and your mind drifts somewhere else. You know what you want, you know your goal, yet somehow it feels distant, almost unreachable. Have you ever wondered why some people rise, even when life is tough, while others stop before they even begin? It's not luck. It's not talent. And it's not always about money. So, what makes the difference? The answer is something quiet, something invisible, yet powerful, something that builds you, step by step, day by day. That something is consistency. Yes, consistency. Maybe it sounds boring. Maybe it feels too small, too slow, almost invisible. That's exactly why most people ignore it. They want excitement. They want fast results. They want to feel proud every single day. But here's the truth. Real success doesn't shout. It doesn't appear overnight. It grows silently, in the background, in moments nobody notices. Imagine yourself trying to learn English. You memorize 5 words today, and then stop tomorrow. You review 10 words after a week, but forget most of them. Your progress disappears. Now, imagine doing just 3 words today, 3 words tomorrow, 3 more the next day. Suddenly, without even realizing, your vocabulary grows. Slow growth. Yes, but lasting growth. That is the magic of consistency. It does not shine, it does not scream, but it builds, quietly, powerfully, invisibly. Life is not easy. You try. You wake up early. You make a plan. You feel motivated. You start strong. But then, distractions come. Responsibilities pile up. Energy fades. You feel exhausted. You think, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this isn't for me. And slowly, without noticing, you stop. Not because you are lazy, not because you don't care, but because it feels like nothing is working. Every time you quit, your confidence shrinks. Every time you stop, your dreams feel smaller. You tell yourself, maybe later, maybe next week, maybe when I'm ready. And before you know it, later becomes never. This is the silent trap. Many people fall into it. Many fight it silently. But here is what you must understand. Feeling stuck does not mean you are weak. Feeling tired does not mean you are broken. You are human. And being human means you always have a choice. You can quit, or you can continue. You can give up, or you can keep going. Even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when nobody sees. Most people fail, not because they lack ability, but because they stop. They stop too early. They stop when it becomes difficult. And that is exactly where consistency wins. Consistency is the quiet hero. It does not demand attention. It does not seek applause. It only asks one thing: show up. Every day. Small steps. Tiny actions. And over time, those tiny actions become unstoppable momentum. That is how winners are made. That is how skills are built. That is how English is learned. Let me give you an example. Elon Musk. Yes, the man behind Tesla and SpaceX. Do you know his story? He tried to launch rockets, and failed. The first one exploded. The second exploded. The third exploded. Most people would have given up. Most people would have accepted defeat. But not him. He stayed consistent. He learned. He adapted. He tried again. And on the 4th attempt, the rocket flew. Was it luck? No. Was it magic? No. It was simple, relentless, quiet, persistent consistency. Now, think about J.K. Rowling. A single mother, struggling with life and responsibilities, writing a story while her baby slept. She faced rejection 12 times. 12 publishers said no. Most people would have quit after the first rejection, maybe after the 5th. But she didn't. She believed in her story. She stayed consistent. And finally, the world met Harry Potter. 12 rejections could have stopped her, but consistency made history. This is not about superheroes. This is not about magic. This is about real people, people who made a choice: I will not quit. And that choice, repeated again and again, is what makes ordinary people extraordinary. Now, bring this closer to yourself. Your goal may not be rockets. It may not be a global bestseller. Maybe your goal is learning English, or building a skill, or growing as a professional. The principle is the same. One small action, repeated every day. 3 words today. 3 words tomorrow. 1 sentence today. 1 sentence tomorrow. Step by step, moment by moment, your skill grows. Your confidence grows. Your momentum grows. And one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, you look back and say, I made it. Remember this: success is not one big moment. It is hundreds, thousands of tiny actions done consistently. And the people who understand this, the ones who show up, even when invisible, even when slow, even when unsure, those are the ones who win. So, today, take a moment. Look at your life. Look at your goals. What is one small thing you can do right now? Just one. And then tomorrow, do it again. And the day after. That is the power of consistency. That is how ordinary people create extraordinary results. That is how you will grow. Step by step. Word by word. Action by action. Because here's the truth: your dreams are not impossible. Your goals are not distant. The only thing standing between you and them is one choice, repeated. Will you quit? Or will you show up again and again, even when it's invisible, even when it's slow, even when it feels impossible? That is the question. And the answer is yours. You took a small step yesterday, and today you wake up. It feels familiar. The struggle feels the same. The alarm rings. Your body is heavy, your mind is tired. You look at your goals and think, will it ever be enough? But here's the truth: small steps repeated are more powerful than giant leaps attempted once. Every tiny action, every quiet effort, builds strength. It builds momentum. And it builds belief in yourself, even when no one notices. Think about your English practice. Yesterday you learned 3 words. Today you repeat them, and add 3 more. You read 1 sentence, and tomorrow you review it. It may feel slow. It may feel invisible. But that invisible growth is unstoppable. That is how your mind starts to recognize patterns. That is how your confidence begins to grow. That is how skills transform into mastery. Many people give up here. They feel frustrated. They want results now. They compare themselves to others. They are fluent. They speak better. They have more time. And quietly, they stop. But comparison is the enemy of progress. Your journey is yours. Your pace is yours. Your growth is your responsibility. And the truth is, one small action today, repeated tomorrow, builds more than hours of inconsistent effort. Let me tell you a secret: consistency works in the shadows. It does not need an audience. It does not require praise. It does not rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes, like waves. Some days are strong. Some days are weak. Some days you feel unstoppable. Others, you feel nothing. But consistency works even on the days you feel weak. Even when you feel invisible. Even when the results are not yet visible. That is the invisible power that transforms ordinary people into winners. Now, imagine this. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes ever. Did he succeed because he had talent alone? No. Did he succeed because every shot went in perfectly from the start? No. He failed countless times. He was rejected by teams, overlooked, doubted. And yet, every day he practiced. Every day he showed up. Every day he repeated the basics. That small, repeated effort created greatness. Think about your own life. The habits you want to build. The skills you want to master. It does not matter if today feels small. It does not matter if tomorrow feels meaningless. What matters is, you take the action. You repeat it. You show up. You continue. One step. One word. One sentence. One action. Every day. Over time, invisible growth becomes undeniable progress. You may feel tired. You may feel invisible. You may feel like giving up. And that is human. That is normal. That is the moment most people quit. But here is the difference. Winners continue. Winners show up. Winners build silently. And that is the exact moment when your future self starts to believe in you, even if you do not yet see it. Let's return to English learning. You may study a sentence today. Repeat it tomorrow. The next day, you add pronunciation, usage, and context. Slowly, words combine into sentences. Sentences combine into paragraphs. Paragraphs combine into conversations. And before you know it, your fluency is not magic. It is not luck. It is consistency. Tiny, invisible, repeated steps that form unstoppable momentum. Many people feel discouraged because they expect instant results. They study for hours one day, and then stop for a week. Progress disappears. Confidence fades. Dreams feel smaller. But you, if you keep repeating, even in small increments, will surpass them all. That is the power of being consistent when others are not. Think about Elon Musk again. Each rocket failure was not a single moment of learning. It was thousands of small adjustments, repeated over time. Each day, every calculation, every test, every failure, and then adjustment, built a foundation. And on the fourth attempt, the rocket flew. Do you see the pattern? Step by step. Failure by failure. Action by action. Consistency made it inevitable. Now think of J.K. Rowling, 12 rejections, and yet she wrote every night, every moment she could, because she believed in her story. Every small effort built momentum. Every repeated action built confidence. And finally, the world received Harry Potter. 12 no's could have ended her story, but consistency made history. This is what your journey requires. Not magic. Not talent alone. Not luck. Not even endless motivation. Just small, repeated actions. And when life is difficult, when energy is low, when distractions come, that is when consistency matters most. That is when you grow. Quietly, invisibly, powerfully. That is how your future self will look back and say, I made it, because I didn't quit. You may stumble. You may forget. You may feel lost. And that is human. But showing up again and again, even when invisible, even when slow, even when it feels hopeless, is what separates ordinary from extraordinary. Step by step, word by word, action by action. So now, ask yourself, what is one small thing you can do today? One word. One sentence. 1 minute of practice? Take it, do it, repeat it tomorrow, and the day after. That is your power. That is your edge. That is the secret the most successful people use, quietly, invisibly, every single day. Remember, success is not one giant leap. It is thousands of tiny steps. And the people who understand this, the ones who take action again and again, no matter what, those are the people who win. Those are the people who achieve. Those are the people who rise when others fall. Consistency is quiet, yet unstoppable. It may not shine, but it cuts through every obstacle. It may not feel exciting, but it creates real results. Your life, your skills, your confidence are built the same way. One small step, repeated every day, is stronger than one giant leap taken once. That is the principle. That is the secret. And it is yours to use. You've taken small steps. You've repeated words, sentences, actions. You felt invisible growth, but now the real test begins. Life will try to distract you. Energy will fade. Doubts will creep in. And here's the truth. The moment you feel most like quitting is exactly when consistency matters the most. The moment you feel weak is the moment you grow stronger. The moment you feel invisible is the moment your future self is being built, silently, powerfully. Think about your goals. Learning English, building skills, achieving dreams, it's never a straight path. There will be days when words don't stick. Sentences feel awkward. Confidence falters. And that is normal. That is human. But it is also an opportunity. Every repetition, every small action, becomes a brick in your foundation. Every tiny effort builds your future. Step by step. Word by word. Action by action. Many people quit here. They say, "It's too hard. I can't see progress. Maybe I'm not capable." And slowly, they stop. But remember this. Quitting is not the failure. Stopping before results appear, that is the real obstacle. Every time you continue, even when it feels invisible, even when it's slow, you build momentum that no one can take away. That momentum compounds. That momentum transforms. That momentum wins. Let's revisit examples. Elon Musk faced failure, ridicule, loss. Yet he kept adjusting, learning, testing, repeating. One small step at a time, over and over, until success became inevitable. J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection. One no after another. Most people would quit at no number 1, maybe 5. But she didn't. She kept writing, believing, showing up. Small steps, repeated consistently, created history. Your journey follows the same principle. Consistency is not glamorous. It is quiet. It does not shout. It does not seek attention. But it works. Slowly, invisibly, powerfully. One action today. One action tomorrow. The next day, repeated. Over time, invisible growth becomes undeniable. Confidence rises. Skills improve. Momentum forms. And one day, when you look back, you see the results. You see the transformation. You see yourself becoming the person you wanted to be all along. Ask yourself, are you willing to take one small action today? One word. One sentence. One goal written down. Done. Tomorrow, repeat it. And the next day, repeat again. No excuses. No waiting for energy. No waiting for perfect conditions. Just act. Show up. Repeat. That is how winners are made. That is how English is learned. That is how life is transformed. Think about your own past. How many times have you stopped because it felt too hard? How many times have you waited for motivation? For energy? For the right moment? And how often did that moment never come? That is why so many dreams never happen. That is why so many goals fade. But now, you have the secret. The one thing that matters above all else. The one choice that changes everything. That one action, repeated, consistently. Consistency does not need applause. It does not require recognition. It does not rely on luck. It relies on you showing up. Every day. Every time. Even when invisible. Even when slow. Even when unsure. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. That is how small, repeated actions create breakthroughs. That is how dreams are realized. Now imagine yourself 1 year from today. You stayed consistent. You repeated one small action every day. You practiced, learned, built. How different would you feel? How much closer to your goals? How much more confident, skilled, and empowered? That vision is real. That transformation is real. And it is already within your reach. Because consistency is your tool. Let's be honest, there will be setbacks. There will be moments when progress feels invisible. Days when motivation disappears. Times when life distracts you. And yet, that is exactly when you continue. That is exactly when the invisible work matters the most. That is exactly when growth happens, silently, quietly, relentlessly. And every day you show up, even a little, you create a chain reaction that builds strength, skills, and confidence faster than any burst of temporary energy ever could. Your journey is simple. One small step. Repeated. One word. Repeated. One sentence. Repeated. One effort. Repeated. The compound effect is unstoppable. And one day you will look back and realize that what seemed small, what seemed invisible, was exactly what changed everything. That is the power of consistency. That is the principle that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. That is the secret to mastering English, building habits, achieving goals, and creating the life you desire. So now, make the decision. Will you quit? Or will you take one small step today? Will you continue tomorrow? And the next day? Will you repeat, even when invisible, even when slow, even when unsure? If yes, if you quietly say, I will continue, then you are already different. You are already becoming the person who finishes. The person who doesn't stop. The person who wins. And that small difference will change everything. Remember this, success is not a single moment. It is hundreds, thousands of small actions done consistently. It is invisible. It is quiet. It is patient. It does not shout, but it builds unstoppable power. And the only thing standing between you and your dreams is one decision. The decision to continue. The decision to take one small action. Right now. Today. And tomorrow. And the day after. That is all it takes. That is consistency. That is mastery. That is the key to extraordinary results. You have the tools. You have the potential. You have the power. And the only thing left is to act. To show up. To repeat. To be consistent. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. And do it the day after. That is the journey. That is the transformation. That is the victory waiting for you.